Okay, so here's my OPR. I don't like to look at OPR a lot when I'm not winning, and you can see if you're looking pretty closely, you can see kind of November, December I haven't been winning. But I thought I've been wanting to do this video for a long time, and it makes sense to do it at the end of 2012. So I thought, it's probably a good idea I do it now. One of the things that you'll see quickly, December's not over yet. It's December 10th. December's a hard month to put volume in because there's so much stuff going on between work and family and all that stuff. It's just hard to get the nights in. But one of the things I really look at a lot is this column. You'll see where my mouse is the amount of tournaments that I've actually played. And if I scroll up a bit, I'll show you what's in there. So it shows you how many ITM, your ITM percentage and how many you've played. Usually when you're ITMing a lot, you're not making money. Or that's kind of a weird analogy, but typically when you're playing aggressive, you're not going to finish ITM as much, and but you're getting deep a lot. So it shows you kind of your finishing late percentage. You can see I have 20% ITM, which is one of my best months of the year, but my late finishing late is only 9%, and I have no first to thirds in December. But it's a small sample. It's only 64 tournaments. It's only the 10th of December, so I never write a month off yet. But one of the things I typically look at, you can see January was my best month, 194% ROI. I had a 6K score on the first day of the month, which really helped. February I also made money, and March I made money. The whole first quarter I was actually up. It's basically broken even for the rest of the year, which is, I had a real personal struggle with this. If you look at my numbers going back to 2009, in 2010 I made almost 50K just on stars. I made a little bit more money on tilt as well. And then in 2011 I had a pretty good year as well, 17,000. You can see what my ROI was. My ROI was 98% in 2010. Obviously it's going to be hard to keep that up. But 45% last year, and it's only down to 37% this year, but my ABI is actually lower. But the reason I'm showing you guys all this is it's all stuff that I look at, and it's all stuff that you should be looking at too. It's very important to analyze the big picture, not just the hands you play and all that stuff. It's to analyze your total game, how much you're playing, what kind of volume you're putting in, what your ABI is, what your ROI is, and so it gives you an idea of what to play and how much to figure out. There was a point where my hold'em manager told me I couldn't win on Mondays. Like basically Mondays was the worst day. I was a losing player on Mondays, and I stopped playing on Mondays. I'm not as drastic about that now because I'll explain in a second why, but you can see the first 3 months of the year I made money. February I only made $328, but again you can see I had only 110 tournaments played, and I was in Vegas for part of February. I was away and doing a bunch of stuff. Usually when I go away, it's pretty tough for me to put in volume that month. You can see in April I had a losing month, and then again in May I kind of rebounded with a small profit. So April and May kind of wash each other out. And then June and July, again, 2 losing months in a row. I hadn't had 2 losing months. If you look down here, it's pretty rare. April and May of 2011, I had 2 losing months. But before that, you'd be hard-pressed to see when I had 2 losing months in a row back to 2010. So that was really tough to take. And then in August, I kind of rebounded again. And I'll explain sort of what the importance of that. September, again, another losing month. And then October, again, rebounded with some profit. One of the interesting things is that I realized partway through the year, and this is kind of a real strange phenom, if I play under 200 MTTs in the month, I'm not likely to make money. And I kind of realized that. I started looking at that in October, and I pushed really hard to play a lot in a lot of tournaments, to try to get in a lot of tournaments, to try to get some volume in and play over 200. And it worked. You can see, if I look at the losing months I had, April I played 194, which was really close to 200. June I only played 175. July I played 131. And then in September I played 137. August I played 214. August I was profitable. September I wasn't. Played under 200. And then in October I played. November I wasn't profitable. Now again, if you look at my losses, I have my full tilt stats up over here. And if you look at my numbers on full tilt, I have small profits on full tilt. It's not a lot of money, and not a lot of volume. Obviously, they only started in the middle of November, but I've done really well on full tilt since it started ROI-wise. In December, my ROI is 157%. It's only in 14 tournaments, but I found that the play on full tilt's been fantastic since it came back. And I never actually, if you look down here, I've never really had a great record on full tilt before it came back, but since it came back, I feel like I've done really well on there. So that's kind of, when you look at November on its own, I didn't make money, but I kind of broke even-ish with the full tilt factor. And the same with December. I haven't made money this month, but when you look at the numbers from full tilt, I'm pretty close.